Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. I hope you're all having a good weekend and happy Easter to everyone as well. So I think what we'll do today is we'll get started in some PSO BB. So for this week there is a rare monster week on, so it's probably worth us hunting some rare monsters. There's also the start of the Ephinea of Easter event as well. So as part of that, basically every monster in the game is able to drop these things called event eggs, and you can exchange them in like an event shop. You can exchange them in for loads of different items. It is a total gamble though, so you can just gamble a load of them and then get nothing. So I think the plan today is just to try and run things that kind of benefit those really. So I would like to do some Condrieu ideally, so the episode 4 boss. But if we can combine that with something that gives a lot of enemies as well, that'd be ideal, just so we can try and get as many event eggs as possible as well. Yeah, happy Easter, Zil. Yeah, so for anyone who didn't see earlier, there is a video that's just gone live earlier today, which is the last of the series of PSO character guides, which is for Formal. So this is by no means the end of PSO videos, it's just the end of the actual character guides. So we'll move on to other PSO videos after that. So we have now covered every single class in PSO. So if you're interested in any of the classes in particular, go and check those videos out. So they are all covered now. It was a hell of a lot of work doing it all, but yeah, they're all up there now. Ah, yes, and yeah, that reminds me as well. Yeah, so off stream, we actually managed to. We'd already done challenge mode, but we managed to increase our times enough so we do have some S rank weapons now. So I think all of us went for an S rank slicer. So we've done episode 1 challenge mode up to S rank now. So we'll do episode 2 at some point. I need to decide when to try that. So I think, am I right in thinking that one of the best episode 4 runs for us to do is... Yeah, we've got max attack Viridia. Viridia still drops Centurion ability, doesn't it, from Condrieu? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, if you want to go Viridia. Red Ray is a bit hit and miss for Desert. It obviously gets Heaven Striker, which is really, really nice, but the other drops are a little bit... eh. So if anyone watching, we're just on Ephinea on the European ship on Block 2. If anyone ever wants to join one of our games, the password is always stream, so feel free to join anytime. So just a lot of people are getting in as well. I posted this on the Discord, but there was a news site that posted something recently saying that there was some guy who had apparently inside knowledge that apparently there's going to be a PSO remaster or remake. From what I've read of the guy who's said that it's happening, it just sounds extremely dodgy after I've posted it, but I would not hold out much hope of that happening yet. From what I've read up about the guy who was apparently behind all the leaks, he got some things right, but there's apparently a ton of things he got wrong as well, so I would not read too much into it personally. We do know that Sega are going back and obviously replenishing a lot of their old franchises. You know, they're redoing Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and so on. So I think PSO is definitely likely at some point, but I don't necessarily think it's happening yet. My personal opinion on the matter is, I think that if they're going to do anything for a PSO remake or PSO remaster, I think they would aim for 2025, because that would be the 25th anniversary of PSO. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do anything. I'm skeptical at this point. Yeah, so we're just giving it a couple of minutes just in case anyone wants to join. As I say, password's just stream if you wanna jump in. Just a remaster. Yeah, I'm very, very hit or miss on remakes. I think if a remake done well can be really, really good, but it also has the potential to just ruin the feeling of the original game. Yeah, I think a lot of people are the same, Zale. I think a lot of people are very sort of anxious and worried about a potential remake. Just given how PSO2/NGS is, it's a totally different game. I don't think Ephinea would be too happy. That's the other concern. Yeah, so if they did do a remake or a remaster, would they still look favourably on private servers for the original game? Maybe not. But it's all just complete conjecture at the minute anyway, so I wouldn't read too much into it yet. I would personally, if they are going to redo the game in some way, I would personally like to see them just do essentially like a HD remaster, just, you know, upscale the textures so it looks a bit nicer. Keep the same kind of art style though. And honestly, I wouldn't want them to mess with the sort of the core gameplay at all, really. And no microtransactions as well. Keep them out of PSO. Forest 1 in an arcade machine. Yeah. I don't know how I'd feel if that happened, you know, if it came back as like an arcade machine in Yakuza. So I believe that's what they did for Daytona USA 2. It hadn't been re-released anywhere, and then they decided to re-release it as an arcade machine in Yakuza. I'll be with you in a sec. I'm just rescheduling my text a bit. Here we go. Yes, this is Maximum Attack E. So this is an episode 4 quest that ends with the episode 4 boss. So the way the event eggs work at the moment is they can drop from anything in the game, and the drop rate depends just on difficulty. So in Ultimate, it's a 1 in, I believe it's a 1 in 500 chance for an event egg to drop. And as I say, you just use them in an exchange shop to gamble. You can also actually exchange them for straight up gear as well without gambling, but the best gear is in all the gambling. I hate Zeus so much. I've already got a photon drop. Isn't Time Splitters 2 available to play in an arcade machine in a really rubbish game? I'm not sure, to be honest. It's Time Splitters 2 mentioned in chat. I never actually had Time Splitters 2. I played it a little bit around a friend's house, and I thought it was really, really fun. It's not so bad running this quest with the full new wall, to be honest, because once you've gelling and zaloed everything, nothing really hurts you too much. The only exception really is probably the Dolphins. The Dolphins do an absolute ton of damage, which you can't really do a whole lot about. Yeah, I remember playing a little bit of Time Splitters 2. I don't remember a whole lot about it because it was many, many years ago. Oh, I've got an arrest handgun. I need to get a decent one of those for my Uniwell, really. Homefront Revolution is the game with Time Splitters 2 in it. Oof. I don't remember hearing anything good about Homefront. Oh yeah, it's ice for these guys. Another photon drop for Draken. Episode 4 is funding Draken's special for his S rank. I'll just set up the Giffoy a little bit just so I can... Basically, I'm trying to keep the Giffoy going to an extent. Just so in case any zoos spawn. Because sometimes when zoos spawn, they will dive straight away. Critically, metaphorically, emotionally, and universally panned. In Miss Fantasy Star Universe, can't believe 360 didn't red ring from never turning it off. Yeah, I didn't get a red ring on my 360. I mean, I didn't play PSU on my 360, I played it on PC. But I did use my 360 a lot. I never got a red ring with it, but I did get something where it just wouldn't boot anymore. It didn't get a red ring though, but I had to send it away to Microsoft to get fixed. Yeah, they were not particularly reliable consoles. Yeah, PSU's it's an interesting game. So back when it released, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think over the years, I have grown more fond of it. Still think PSO is definitely my favourite of the series, but I do respect PSU. Oh, there's 2 Dolphins. Didn't even see the other one spawn. I feel like I do nothing to these. I do 700 damage and the health's just not moving. Ed Red Ring once turned it off and on again and it was fine. I think you were one of the lucky few there. I think most people who got Red Ring, it was a case of sending the Xbox off. PSO is definitely a favourite. Used to bring an Xbox to work to play on night shifts. That's the dream, that if you're able to bring the Xbox to work and play it there. Playing games on shift is peak life. Yeah, there's no chance I get away with it at work. That's legit, not mocking. Got the Lieutenant gear as well. Oh, thanks for the sub. Yeah, Draken seems to be getting all the rares this run. I think every single thing that's dropped has gone to Draken so far. I mean, not that the Lieutenant gear is much to shout about, but... I think there's one of them that gives trap vision. I think that's Lieutenant Mantle. Oh, thanks for the memberships, Dustbin. That's really, really kind to get that. Yeah, everyone who's just got a membership there. There's loads of emotes you can use as well. Oh, that's really, really kind of that. And now, just to confuse me now, every time someone gets a membership, it'll play a rare drop noise just to make me think something's dropped. I didn't realise how triggering the membership noise would be, actually. Every single time it happens, I look at my my item dropper just to see if things dropped. Yeah, one day these Dolphins will actually let me do something to them. Yeah, everyone who's got a membership, welcome to the Fowler farm. Yeah, it's all the rare drop noises. Yeah, likewise, every single time it happens, I keep looking. I did it deliberately because I knew it would annoy me. Well, the original premise behind it was I wanted a noise for my memberships that was something to do with PSO, and I thought, well, what's more iconic in PSO than a rare drop noise? I know they didn't actually happen in PSO, but you kind of associate it with PSO now. However, I did not think about what would happen if I'm playing PSO at the time. I was hoping to finalize a file from T-shirt, but the printers just went to administration. Oh. Oh, we'll have to find another one then. Learned about the channel from the PSO Beginner's Guide. For some reason, your stream was recommended here, and here I am. Yeah, the algorithm knows. Yeah, seriously, thanks for that, Dustbin. That's really, really kind of you. Do I play PSO more than PSU? Honestly, yeah, probably more PSO. I do plan on doing some more PSU videos. It's just that recently I've been doing the character guides for PSO, and they've taken up a lot of the time for the channel videos, so I've been focusing a lot on those. They're now finished, though, so I will probably be alternating between PSO and PSU stuff now. I know there are some people who want to see me play a lot more PSU as well, so... I would say typically, you know, if I'm choosing one to play, I'd probably go for PSO mainly. It's just that it's the game I've spent the most time with and the one I've got the most, like, memories of, really. One day I'll remember that it's ice for these guys, not lightning. Yeah, so like Baseplay said there, we do play PSU on stream sometimes on the Clementine server. It's not perfect by any means. There are some issues I've got with Clementine, because I do feel there's a lot of things that don't feel similar to the old Sega servers, but it's pretty much the only option you've got for PSU at the minute. Played Ephinea as well, but you'll want to get more into PSU since there's a lot you don't understand. Yeah, PSU is actually quite a complicated game in comparison to PSO. There's actually a lot more going on it. So, like I said, I will try and do some more videos for PSU. I just wanted to do a basic beginner's guide to it just for people who might be checking it out for the first time. And thanks for watching that as well. Yeah, I saw that about the announcement that they made about the PSO2 server. They have said since that what they're going to do is that they're not going to release it until Sega stops support for their PSO2, which is probably a smart decision. Because I don't think Sega will be too happy about it otherwise. So I think the plan is that once Sega stops support for PSO2, then they'll release their private server version. I don't know if I'll check it out though. I was talking to Draken about this earlier, but for me, PSO2 is where I started to sort of fall out of love with the series a little bit. I don't mind it, but it's certainly not one of my favourite games. Yeah, Minsk, so daylight savings, etc. So the time change for the stream. No worries, though, we've just started. We've only been going a little while. I really don't like taking care of these Dorfons with a force, particularly not with a Fornuel, because I have no health. Wait for though, it's worth it. Started Fantasy Star with the Steam release of PSO2. Oh, okay. That's fairly recent then, really, isn't it? So did you start with PSO2 and then go and check out the older games? Slowly work your way backwards. Oh, cool. You enjoy older media. Yeah, it's same for me. I mean, particularly with Phantasy Star, I do much prefer the older Phantasy Star Online games. So, you know, PSO, PSU, and yes, also PSO Episode 3. You just started dipping into NGS, but you're finally at a point where you can play with others. So have you just got to Central City base player? Oh, cool. Really old, you started back on the Dreamcast. Oh, cool. Yeah, so I started with the GameCube version. So I've been playing about 20 years, roughly. So I think I started in about 2003 on the GameCube, and then I moved on to Blueburst after that. I have gone back since and bought a Dreamcast to try out Dreamcast PSO. I've got version 1 and version 2. But I said I wasn't there for the original release. I didn't have a Dreamcast at the time. It's quite interesting going back and playing the Dreamcast ones, actually, because it's actually a lot different to the GameCube version. Oh, you started with GameCube in 2002? Oh, cool. Your fire is so useful here. Are you a fan of other Sega games like Sonic Adventure or the Sonic series in general? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a Sonic fan. I mean, this is probably going to be heresy to a lot of people, but I've never played Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2. I'm sorry. I do like some of the old Sonic games, so, you know, I used to love playing Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 when I was a kid. But beyond that, not so much. As I say, I never had a Dreamcast back in the day. The only Sega console I ever had as a kid was I had a Mega Drive / Genesis. Oh, Zell got an event egg. Start with 2D Sonic so you understand that. I really, really do not like this guy. Such an annoying enemy. So much health as well. PSO 3 is actually a favourite, even though you absolutely egg at it. I really, really like Episode 3. I think it's a really good game. I am, like you, pretty bad at it, though. So I think the problem with Episode 3 is you need to know kind of what cards work with each other, and that's more brain power than I've got. I suppose you only knew what PSO was because you played Phantasy Star on the Sega Genesis. Yeah, I've played a little bit of the classic Phantasy Stars, not a huge amount though. I found them honestly quite difficult to get into, but I think, again, that was because I played them at a much later time. I probably should go back and try them again at some point. Like a game that makes you think, not best at button mashing and adventuring. Best at button mashing and adventuring. The ironic thing is that if you button mash in PSO, you don't get anywhere. Drax got another rare. So literally everyone in the team is getting stuff apart from me. People often say streamer privilege, but it's the opposite when I stream, I think. Oh, to be fair, I did get V101 a few streams ago, so I'm probably still paying for that. Button mashing with style and timing. Can I get away with using the glide ability? Let's go for it. Oh. Every time, man. How many times have people messed up PBs in PSO? It's like a rite of passage. And of all the ones I did, it was Mallory and Euler as well. The one that makes no difference to me when I'm a force. We've all been there. I actually don't like getting fought on blast with my force because it kind of gets in the way of my palette. Too many text to balance. Yeah, I've pretty much played most of the Fantasy Star games since PSO. So, as I say, I started with GameCube, then I went on to Blue Burst. Played episode 3. Played quite a lot of PSU. Played pretty much all of the PSP games. It's a massive crit from the Rappy. The one thing I died to in the quest is a Rappy. Sounds about right for a Ephinea. Yeah, I played pretty much all of the portable games. Oh, this is rough, this. Problem with the zoos when they get close to you and do that fight is that the spread kind of interrupts you. So I'm trying to heal there, and every time I'm trying, it's interrupting me. Doesn't help when there's spam in it as well. The Gabar's got an insane range as well, so you can be on the other side of the room and it'll still hit you. Yeah, I still think that, I think aside from PSO, I think my favourite Fantasy Star is probably PSP 2 Infinity. That was a really, really good game. The only downside was it only released in Japan. So you had to either have a Japanese PlayStation Store account or there was like a fan translation, I think, that was done for it as well. Been playing FF12 on the Switch recently. Are you a fan of Final Fantasy? Yeah, to an extent. So I think I've played most of Final Fantasy VI. I like that. Quite enjoy 7. Honestly, I think 8 is one of my favourite ones. I know 8 gets panned quite a lot because of some of the weird decisions it made. Like the junction system in it's really, really just busted. But I actually really, really enjoy 8. I really like 10 as well. I haven't got around to playing any of the more recent ones though, so I think the most recent one I've played is probably FF7 Remake, which I've played about halfway through. Oh, so we've got a server restart coming up, apparently. Oh, it's in 179 minutes, that's fine. We should be okay. I was worried there. I think we should be good because, you know, if it's in 179 minutes, that's, you know, it's in 3 hours, so that'll probably be when the stream's ended anyway. Yeah, it's always strange with the announcement. It's never like a set time, so it's always like 179 minutes. I'm guessing that when they activate it, maybe it's 180 and then the game counts down automatically or something. I think we should be okay. If worst comes to worst and we need to stop playing Ephinea, we can just switch over to PSU or something instead. So just keep an eye on it. What's the bug we can exploit before the fix? I'd like to think that the bug is event eggs not dropping for me. I doubt that's the case somehow. 10's pretty cool, seen speedruns of it but not played it yourself. I really like 10. The only issue I've got with 10 really is that aside from a few sort of optional like super boss fights, it's really, really easy. I find it to be quite an unbalanced game. So I tend to find with 10 that if you build Una well and build the summons up, it just becomes an absolute cakewalk. But I do really enjoy the game though. I think the story is really good in it. It's definitely one of my favourite Final Fantasies anyway. Yeah, I still for some reason just really like 8. Which is odd because I really don't like Squall as a character. The story is, well, makes not much sense in parts. It's got a terrible junction system, but there's something about that I still really like. I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV as well, but unfortunately it was back in the 1.0 days. I actually didn't mind 1.0. I thought it was okay, but was nothing sort of groundbreaking or anything. I did try playing a little bit of a Realm Reborn, but for some reason I couldn't get into it at all. And I've just never tried it again since. I know it's meant to be amazing now, but yeah, there's just something about it I just can't go into. And please stop spamming Gabata, please. Thank you. I like how he's still sort of dragging me towards him when he was paralyzed. Pretty sure that's a bug, so maybe that's the bug. Yeah, this spawn's pretty awful. I play Bat and Kaitos. No, I've never got around to playing those. Again, it was one of those games where they were like, seemed like super niche at the time. I think it's just one of those games that just sort of passed me by and never got around to trying. From what I heard, they were pretty good though, but never actually tried it myself. Honestly, that my GameCube was basically a PSO machine. That was the entire point of it. I actually pretty much wore the laser out on my GameCube just from playing PSO. These do so much damage when they're not gelland. Well, let's a combo you like that as well. Favorite hidden gem is Gotcha Force on GameCube. Absolutely spectacular arena fighting game. I don't think I've heard of that, to be honest. Yeah, I think for my GameCube, it was essentially just a lot of PSO. I played quite a bit of F-Zero GX as well. I love F-Zero. Yeah, I really love the GameCube as a console, though. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff they released on it at the time. I still maintain as well that I still think the GameCube controller is one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever used. That was made by Capcom. Yeah, trying to focus on chat and manage this at the same time is quite difficult. They're really annoying, these guys, because they can just continually interrupt you. I played a lot of Gotcha Force. I'll have to check it out and see what it is. I've honestly never heard of it before. Yeah, I used to love F-Zero though. There was a really cool thing with F-Zero GX as well, where it had a connection to the arcade game version as well. I think the other game I spent far too much time in, it wasn't a GameCube game though, it was a PlayStation one, was Front Mission 3. It's like it was a Squaresoft RPG with mechs. It plays a little bit like Fire Emblem. That, again, I put far too much time into. And that is getting a remake soon as well, so I'll be definitely checking that out when it gets released. Ah, cool, boss time. I don't mind Draken if you want a PB now or if you want to try the Estella skip. I suppose if we buff now, it gives us more chance of not getting wrecked, but you can try it if you want. Yeah, so at the moment, like I say, it is rare enemy week at the moment, so there's an increased chance of getting the rare boss. Hey, this is the rare boss. Hi, Captain Quinn, you okay? Yeah, so this is the rare version of the episode 4 boss. So it's the only boss in the game that actually has a rare variant. Unfortunately, all versions of this boss hit like an absolute truck. So we just need to pray for the Centurion ability drop. Trying to see where Zale is on the map. Problem with this map is it's huge. Right, over here, that's fine. Thanks for the sub. Oof. I got frozen by the mine, then just immediately annihilated by the boss. Yeah, having 4 new health on this boss is not good. As you can see. That was a crit, though. It's a really irritating phase, this. I will say I'm not a fan of this phase of the Ep4 boss. It likes to do this thing where it'll spring the mines up directly in front of you while you're running. 1 health. Come on. Basically, for anyone who's never done the Ep4 boss, what you want to be looking for this is there are different colours of these mines, and you want to be looking for either orange or red ones, really. And if you break a red one or an orange one, it makes the boss pop out the ground for a bit. Yeah, so the red one's right over here. 1 HP is all you need, yeah. Like, why have more, honestly? There we go, got it. So if you hit a yellow, orange, or red one, it makes it pop out the ground. And I believe that the colour corresponds to how long it sticks out the ground for. That's phase 1 done. So the rare drop for this guy is Centurion ability, which is it's a really nice unit that boosts all your stats. It's a 1 in 4 drop, so it's unlikely we'll get it, but never know. I love the boss theme for this boss as well. It's so good. Never tell me the odds. Well, realistically, there's three of us here, so there's a good chance that at least one of us will get it. It does some really scummy things, this boss. Oh, that was cheap as anything. So there is a weird bug with this boss where sometimes in Photon Blast, it will continue attacking you. And that was what happened there. So it hit me during Photon Blast. You hit it. Yeah, I'm not sure how his health compares to Sam Million. I believe he might have more than Sam Million, but less than Shambertan. I also have no idea what he's weak to. Not lightning is the answer to that. Raise RNG gods. The case with basically every hunt in PSO. Little strat for this, when he does this sweeping beam, just hide behind the meteor. So the meteor just blocks you from it. It's like the safety rock. He's beaming again. Oh, it's so annoying when he puts the mine in front of you. I'm going to eat that one, but... yeah, you might want to be careful berserking on this guy because he attacks so often that it's actually hard to get berserks in without getting wrecked. Problem is as well that the mines have a lot of health as well, so you can't just get rid of them really quickly like you can on faults. Definitely want to heal that. He's not too far off now. Is he in the center part? Yes, he is. I like some parts of this boss, but there are some elements of the fight that are just really, really irritating. Like, unnecessarily so. He's one hit away, fair enough. I'm gonna eat this one. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do with a Full-on-UL. You just hide behind anything. So what I do there is when I know I'm going to get hit by the beam, I buff Arrester. Because at least it will heal me as soon as I stand up. For some reason, there is a thing with PSO where if you buff for a technique, it won't always affect other people when you first get up. But it will affect you. So if I buff for that now, as soon as I stand up, I heal. You want me to ice then? Yeah, ice. Fair enough. So hopefully I don't get wrecked during Photon Blast again. It does seem like it's frozen in properly this time. Right, praise RNG. I'm not expecting anything. Hopefully at least someone gets it though. Well, I didn't. Right, did anyone get Centurion ability? I'm guessing Draken. Yep. So Draken again. Oh, so everyone got Centurion ability apart from me. Nice one. You couldn't make it up. Yeah, I got 2000 Mazetta instead. Yeah, it's a 1 in 4 drop, so the likelihood is that you're not going to get it, but at least you know that if he appears, you've got a reasonable chance of getting it. You win 1 VI charge. It's not even that. I mean, you need 10,000 for the VI. Yeah, Centurion ability is a really, really good unit. All it means is just have to do Conjuring more. The beatings will continue until Centurion ability drops. We do at least get some MA4 tickets as well, which you can exchange for some decent stuff. It's obviously longer getting to Conjure doing this boss, but at least you get the MA tickets as well. If it makes you feel better, you have a Centurion ability in your bank. I mean, it's not a terribly hard drop, honestly. I mean, 1 in 4 from a rare boss. Even when it's not rare enemy weak, it's a 1 in 10 chance for Conjure to appear, so it's not too bad. Especially if you just do Point of Disaster, you can get to him a lot faster. The only reason we're doing this quest is for the MA tickets and because you get a lot of enemies which have a chance of dropping event eggs. I mean, I spent a lot more than that 2,000 just on Trifluids alone. Need another. Yeah, it depends if there's anyone in the lobby. But if there's no one else, yeah, by all means. Just whoever's in the lobby. Lobbying. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed week this week. So on the one hand, you've got the rare enemy boost. So anything that drops some rare enemies is worth going for at the minute. But then you've also got the Easter event on one, which, because you can get it from anything, you're prioritizing quests that have a lot of enemies as well. So I suppose the best thing to do will be to hunt a rare enemy that drops in an area with a lot of enemies. So I suppose hunting things like Mill Lily in Temple, you know, if you've got high enemy counts in Temple, you're going to combine the rare enemies and the increased enemy count. But we just kind of want Conju. Yeah, I think Centurion ability gives you quite a big boost to your luck, doesn't it, as well? Is it about 30 or so, around there? Yeah, surprisingly no rare Rappy. Well, no rare enemies at all, apart from Conju. Funny thing is, we did a run off stream yesterday before the rare enemy boost started, and we got a Pazuzu. You know, no rare enemy boost, we get the rare enemy show up. As soon as the rare enemy boost starts, they stop showing up again. Recommended Temple Mill quest. Honestly, not sure. It's been a long time since I've hunted Temple Mill lilies. Depends on what you want in a hunt as well, because I think for Temple Mill, there's only a few drops that are worth going for. Yeah, I know Viridia gets a decent Temple Mill drop. They get Standstill Shield, and I think Red Rhea gets Crimson Coat. I can't think of any other drops that are any good for Temple Mill. Obviously, Caves Mill has, you know, Psycho Wand from Purple Num. Still don't know if that's the right way to hunt that or not. Where do you spend event eggs? I think it's an episode 2 quest. I think it's either called the egg shop or the event shop, and you spend them in there. So there's a couple of ways you can spend them. So there is a gacha where you can gamble either 1, 5, or 10 eggs. The way that works is you can either gamble 1 egg, you'll get a guaranteed rare, but it's a lower tier of rares typically. Apart from there is 1 or 2 good things in there, like Invisible Guard and V501. Or you can spend 5 eggs, which I think is a 50% gamble chance. If you fail the gamble, you get a monomate, but there's better tier stuff in there. And then if you do 10 eggs, it's a 10% chance of success. But if you don't make it, you get a photon drop, so at least you get a better consolation prize. But if you do get a good roll, then you get really, really good stuff. So, you know, there's some crazy stuff in the 10 egg gamble. So you've got things like Limiter, Swordsman's Law, V502. Some insane stuff in there. But it's a 10% chance of getting it for 10 eggs. How big a cheer would a Psycho Wand drop? Would a technical difficulty sign pop up? Yeah, I'd probably have to mute my microphone. What do you recommend as a new player with not lots of great stuff? So as well as that gacha, you've also got, I believe there's 2 shops that you can just spend eggs in instead of gacha. Some of those are quite strange weapons though. So there's the Type M weapons, which are these really weird weapons that look like one type of weapon but have animations for something else. So for example, you might have, I think there's one where it has a rod animation, but it looks like a sword. They're really strange weapons. Probably not something to recommend for beginners either, just because of how weird they are. So if you're just starting out and you have no decent gear at all, you could always jump on the one egg gamble. There is a chance you'll get some good stuff like V501. A lot of the stuff in there is quite basic, so it's things like Flower and Swords, DB Sabers, and so on. But it might be worth maybe spending a couple of eggs on there and trying to gamble for the V501. But apart from that, the 5 egg gamble is decent, but the risk with the 5 egg gamble is that if you fail it, you want to get a monomate. And that's a really, really nasty consolation prize. Well, at least with the 10 egg gamble, at least you at least get a photon drop if you fail it. But the likelihood is that you are going to fail it. You could probably also, if you wanted to, you could probably also trade them to other players as well. I don't know how much they're worth. I would imagine they're not worth a great deal, but it might be worth going for 10s if you get 10 eggs. Just be aware that if you do a 10 egg pull, you are probably going to fail it. Yeah, if you want to keep going as a video, I'm fine with that. I know Red Rhea Rep 4 is a little bit hit and miss. I know I get Heaven Striker, but apart from that, the Red Rhea Desert's a little bit hit and miss, really. Yeah, Aether, essentially it's you can either go with the lower risk one, but it's lower rewards, or you can try and gamble it all and hope for the best. Also, as part of the Easter event, for anyone who maybe hasn't played the game before, there is a rare seasonal Rappy in episode 2 that shows up. So you get Egg Rappy instead of Love Rappy. And Egg Rappy drops Easter eggs, which have a variety of different sort of comic weapons in them. So you can get things like the Panther Claw and some other like comical weapons. They're not particularly useful. They're just a bit of fun, really. It does mean though that if you are hunting anything from Love Rappy, you just have to stop hunting it for a while. Yeah, it'll be the same pass as usual. But yeah, a Psycho 1 drop base player, that would be insane. I would absolutely love one. I do plan on hunting one once I've got my Rare Mile to Ultimate. But yeah, 1 in 205 from a rare enemy. There are probably better ways of hunting Psycho 1, honestly. I kind of feel like maybe the Bluefull Delbiter drop is the one to go for. It's only 1 in 12,000 for my Delbiter. Yeah, the sad reality with Psycho 1 is that there is no good drop for it. Every single ID can get it, but there is no good drop. It's not impossible. The really weird thing about the Delbiter drop as well is it also drops on Viridia as well, from the same enemy. So it drops from a Delbiter again. But for Bluefull, it's a 1 in 12,000 drop. For Viridia, it's a 1 in 131,000 drop. And I don't know why that's the case. Like, I don't know why the two drops are not the same drop rate. It makes no sense. I mean, to be fair, the 1 in 130,000 is more in line with the other Psycho 1 drops. I mean, the Red Rhea drop for my phone UL is absolutely awful. There's no way I'm hunting it on this. Like 1 in 300,000 from a Sorcerer. Payment for Nice Claw. Yeah, Nice Claw is another one, the real Nice Claw anyway, that is next to impossible to get. Very, very hard drop. Hi, Illumi, okay. Yeah, Range of All is a really, really good shield. I actually do need to get one of those for my Rare Mile, actually. I'm just not a fan of really spending a couple of hours in Gallon Shop farming Gallon points. Yeah, it's just in the Gallon Shop quest, Doomlord. So if you go into Gallon Shop, you just want to play the mini games in there and just keep playing them until you get about, I think it's about 300 to 310 Gallon points, and then you can exchange for it in Gallon Shop. So that happened. A team were taking you through Ultimate Tower for the first time, and the main guy found it. Oh, they actually got a Nice Claw. That's an insanely hard drop. They did add another drop for it on Blue Burst, on Ephinea, but the other drop for it is just as awful. So you've still got the Viridia drop, which, if I remember correctly, I think it's from an Ilgil in Tower, but it's like 1 in 28,000 or something. The one they've added is on Bluefull from Gerta Blulu, which is the like mini boss of Desert, and it's like 1 in 8,000. Terrible drop. The sad thing about knives as well is that, honestly, claws in general in PSO are just not that useful. Possible exception is Hucasil, but the real knives you can only use on Hunuel. And honestly, the claw animation just isn't that great. Currently playing PSO episode 1 and 2 on your phone. Is there any way I can connect my phone's data to PSO's GameCube servers to play online on Dolphin? I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know a great deal about Dolphin. Maybe someone in chat could help with that, but I'm not that familiar with Dolphin, unfortunately. Or with the logistics of getting PSO GameCube online now. It's been a long time since I've had my GameCube online. So putting P1 below depth still work then? Yeah, I realized this when I looked it up on Ephinea. Apparently it does still work. So if you have, I think it's if you have P1, Cycle 1 below a depth in your inventory, because of the way it applies the TP reductions, you actually get more TP reduction by doing it that way. Pretty ill girl, mental chance, I'll stop. Got killed by Dill Lilies, but the guy was like, I don't care, what the heck did I just find? Yeah, I mean, for me, the rarest thing I've ever seen drop is Yasha. That is still by far the rarest thing I've ever found. One of my friends back on the Sega servers did find a Heaven Punisher, but I wasn't in the game when it dropped. Can't even remember where he got it from now, to be honest. Yep, that's one of the things I love about PSO, though, is some of the things that is so rare. Like, the likelihood is that you're never going to see them, but maybe they'll drop. Brings back some memories. Yeah, I mean, Lumi, if you, I don't know if you still play this, but you can still access this, no problem. It's really, really easy to get set up and everything. So yeah, if you're looking for a PSO fix, it's still here. Can't remember the rarest thing I found. Maybe 2 parts of the Devil Tail mag. Yeah, I believe for that, I think you had to find Heart of Devil twice, didn't you? So I think you used it once to make the Devil Wings mag and then use it again to make it in a Devil Tail. I may be wrong on that, though. Current date, the rarest finds your 4-slot Graviton plate. Yeah, I think really once you get into Ultimate, that's when the best stuff starts dropping. I mean, there are a few drops that drop in lower difficulties that are stupidly rare. You know, things like Invisible Guard or S-Parts. Still fire up the GameCube from time to time, play offline, not played online since Sega Blueburst days. Yeah, so this server's been running quite a few years now, so if you do ever want to play Blueburst, like I say, it is really, really simple to set up. It plays very similar to GameCube PSO as well. Huge respect for the PSO content in 2024, over 20 years later. Insane, love to see it. Someone has to. Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously I started out the channel doing NGS content, but PSO has always been my main love, so I just experimented a bit with doing some PSO videos to see if anyone would actually watch them. Didn't really think anyone would. Turns out that a lot more people want to see PSO than NGS. Which I'm totally fine with. Brings us together, yeah. PSO's had such an impact on me, really. I imagine it's the same for a lot of people watching as well. And then we all showed up. So happy to see the community is still strong. Yeah, Lumi, so generally on this server on Ephinea, quite often there'll be, usually, particularly when an event starts like this, there's usually at least 200 people online. which it's crazy for a 20-year-old game. But it's got a really healthy population. It's really easy to get games. Trading's no problem at all. It does almost feel like the Sega days. Yes, there are less players now, but it's still got a really solid community. And I think a lot of the people who still play it now are people who are probably just going to keep playing it. Because realistically, if you're playing PSO 20 years later, you're probably quite hooked on it like me. I love the fact that it gives you something to do meaningful on a Sunday. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I mean, there are other servers as well, so I'm playing on Ephinea, but there are a few servers for PSO, so don't feel you have to play on this server. There is other ones like Ultima, and I think there's a couple of others as well. I can't speak for what they're like personally. I've never really tried those ones, but I would definitely recommend Ephinea. Ephinea feels quite similar to the old Sega servers, so I quite like it for that. It's near the 9th anniversary on Ephinea. Has it really been that long for Ephinea now? Didn't realise it had been going that long. I think I've probably been playing on and off on Ephinea for maybe, I want to say maybe 3 years, maybe. Mainly because I used to play on the Shack servers, and there was a massive screw up on there, basically, where they lost everyone's character data. And I in particular I lost like a level 200. And it just made me just not want to play PSO for quite a few years, honestly. Just had no interest in putting time into private servers again, because I just thought, what if it happens again? But so far, touch wood, it seems like a really, really solid server. There is a tri-fluid drop somewhere. Where is it? There we go. August 2015 it launched. Oh, so Shack went down in June, and then Ephinea launched. That's like genius timing, really. Is Shack back up again now, or is it still down? I don't know if they ever brought it back up again. I don't really keep an eye on it now, so I'm not sure what's going on with them now. Again, just because I thought it was pretty terrible that they didn't really have people's game data backed up properly. I believe they're back up. Okay. I mean, for me personally, I'm sticking with Ephinea because it seems like a really, really solid platform for playing PSO. And I know that a lot of the guys that run Ephinea as well are really long-time PSO players that played way back from like Dreamcast onwards, really. So I know they have the game's best interests in mind. Oh, Mint's got an egg. I'm still yet to get one. Back up, but like 4 or 5 people play on it, mostly GameCube players. Yeah, I mean, if there's only 4 or 5 people on it, I guess it's probably not worth playing then. I'm guessing that the majority of people who play PSO are probably on Ephinea or Ultima now. Again, I don't even know how well Ultima's doing though. I've never really played on that server, so from what I understand, it's quite different to the old Sega servers. I think they made quite a lot of changes to the game. Oh, got a photon crystal. This seems to be the only thing I really get from episode 4, just constant photon crystals. which I'm not complaining about because they are at least useful, but like, an event egg would be nice. Yeah, personally, I don't see Ephinea going anywhere anytime soon. That was huge when the Sega says went down. Can't believe they fumbled so bad. Yeah, from what I understand, I may be wrong on this, but I think they changed ownership so far into the server. I think there was a guy called Chrono that took it over, and there was some kind of colossal mess up where they essentially didn't have data backed up properly, and a lot of people lost a ton of character data. They also had this really annoying policy on Shack as well, where if you didn't log in for about 90 days, they just deleted your characters. Whereas from what I understand, I think on Ephinea they've said that they won't delete characters. Unless you give them a reason to delete your account, obviously. HP material. There's another HP material somewhere. You can't see it on screen, but behind where my camera is, I've got like a floor reader that shows me what items have dropped on the ground, and I've got to set to show certain items that drop. Just so I don't have to scan through everything that drops. Wish I owned it, it was better. Problem is that Chrono was lazy, leaded everything once Chrono took over the server. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember any problems with it when Shaq owned it originally. It seems to be mainly once Chrono took over that I noticed the problem starting. I don't know if Chrono just got in over his head or something and just took on more than it could handle, maybe, but... yeah, I know a lot of people were not happy. Yeah, as I said, though, the good news is that Ephinea does seem to be run by a really decent team. We would have thought something like that, backup is top priority, right? It's too much for one guy and get a team. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people shared the same opinion. You know, if you think, you know, some people had several level 200s that they probably put hundreds and hundreds of hours into and just gone. I mean, to give them credit, you know, when I played on the Shack server for a bit, it was a decent server while I played on it, but then when all the problems started, they just shook your sort of confidence in them. Also got a snake spire drop. Yeah, that was one of the good things about this server as well, is that you can actually download your character data. So if you download your character data, it means that if you make, for example, your own LAN server or something for PSO, you can use your character data. People, many thought you had a backup despite being lazy. All I remember when it went down. Friend told you and you're not surprised at all. I think it was just a case of bad management, really. Realistically, if you're looking after data like that, it should be backed up. Simple as that. I mean, I would assume that Ephinea data is backed up. Yeah, for what it's worth, though, this version of the game at least is well worth playing. Got a level up, very nice. So 135. I would say it's starting to be quite a lot of experience to level now, but it's really not compared to later on. You know, I need like 300,000 to level, but yeah, having had a level 200 before, that is absolutely nothing in comparison. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel, Zale. You would hope that they saw what happened with Stack and just thought, right, okay, we need to avoid that. Yeah, I mean, Soda Boy, who, you know, is one of the guys behind this survey, he's been with the PSO community for years and years and years. Yeah, exactly. It's like a cautionary tale, yeah. I always forget how strong Force feels in episode 4. You can manage the spawn so well. The reason I'm spamming Give For You so much is just so that if any zoos spawn, I can catch them when they spawn in. It's because if they try diving straight away, it'll stagger them when they try diving. Still don't have an level 7 disc. It's like one of the few things I still need for this funny world. For some reason, I just cannot get an anti-level 7 disc to drop. So until I've got that, I can't cure freeze. Which is madly annoying. Yeah, it's just trying to stop them being as irritating as they are, because the dive that they do can be super annoying. The Glide Divine helps a ton here as well, just for the increased gel and Zalo range. Yeah, so going forward on the channel with the videos, obviously we've now finished all the character guides, so there are still going to be a lot more PSO videos coming, so I've got plenty of other ideas for PSO content. And as I said, we will do some PSU as well. We've got a rest of level 30 disc drop. It'd be nice to get a level 30 attack drop at some point, but they're so rare. Phonium speedrun. Bracken's actually got a phonium that he's just been getting ready earlier, using a lot of materials and stuff on. Don't think I need another rest level 30 disc, to be honest. I've got a couple. Hype for PSU. Yeah, I realise it's been a while since I've done a PSU video. It's just because the character guides for PSO took so long to do. There've been 12 different videos. So we'll try and do some more PSU content. If anyone's got any ideas for things they want to see for any of the games, just let me know. You can either hit me up on Twitter or let me know in chat. I will try and sort of take into consideration what people want to see. I love the accidental photon blast. Happens in almost every single run in PSO. Yeah, I saw in the Discord that his force was pretty much ready. Had about 600 nod MST at level 1. Yeah, Phonium is one of the few classes that I just cannot get into. Just honestly, it's just entirely because of the way they look. I'm aware that they are an amazing class. I can't. Hi, AJ. It's a book far too judged by its absolutely ridiculous cover. I was looking through one of my PSO art books that I've got. So there's a book called The Book of Hunters, which is it's essentially a Dreamcast PSO art book, but it also covers things like part of the story and things like that as well. And in that, there's a section on unused character classes that they didn't use in the Dreamcast version. And a few of them are the ones that were introduced in episode 1 and 2. So there's things like Raymal and Hukasila in there. And there's sort of explanations as to why they didn't make it into the original versions. And it's really interesting reading some of the reasons for it. So, for example, they originally planned on having a Humal, so like a female human hunter. But they decided against it because they thought she'll have less attack power than a Humar, but she'll have less mental strength than a Hu will, so there's no point. Yeah, Smabby, it's on Ephinea. Welcome in as well. And the reason that they didn't put Raymal in the Dreamcast version is apparently because they couldn't think of enough differences to differentiate them between Raymat and Raymal. When you look at the concept art, it's identical to the episode 1 and 2. after they had everything finalized for her and then just decided not to use her. I'm getting absolutely garbage drops here. Everyone else is getting stuff and I'm getting nothing. Oh, you just started on Ephinea. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never played on Ultima. Ephinea is really, really cool, though. We just talked about this a little bit earlier. What class did you decide to go with, Smabby? Welcome to Draken Finds Everything streaming everywhere on Sundays. Seems that way tonight. To be fair, I'll give him credit. He does help me out with a lot of hunts off stream, so he does deserve it. Okay, come on. Can we get Conjurer twice in a row? Rare Mallet Hughcast. Oh, nice. Oh, boo. It's the normal boss. I should gel in these, out of curiosity. I can. Right, what are you weak to? No idea, but Draken just murdered that anyway. Yeah, this guy is a little bit easier than the other two. Going back to your state before Shaka reset the servers again. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, I've got a rare Mal I'm leveling at the moment. I'm just waiting for the experience boost week. It's hard behind the safety rock. God, that hurts so much. Yeah, I think he's weak to ice. It seems it. The missiles are really annoying because there's nothing you can really do about them. Just got your DM and SGS took a bit of a break, then the reset. Oof. So is that a common thing they do then? Do they just reset the servers every so often? Because that seems like a horrendous way to play PSO. Yeah, it does look really weird, Sam Million. So how much longer have we got before the servers go down? So maintenance will begin in 119 minutes. Alright, so we're 2 hours, fair enough. Good hit gear that was speed was commonplace. Sounds like GameCube. Everyone was pretty much instantly OP with custom weapons. Yeah, I think custom weapons is just a really bad idea. It sounds cool initially. He did the thing again there where he was attacking during the Floating Blast again. Yeah, custom weapons kind of sounds like a cool idea initially, but when you factor in, it's almost impossible to balance custom weapons. At the end of the day, the way I see it as well is that custom weapons are your S ranks. So did they adjust the existing weapons then? 'Cause am I right in thinking that they had a Dark Floor that could combo? And we get a Soul Atomizer. Very nice. You don't expect anything from that boss because he's got regular boss rates, so most of his drops are about 1 in 40. Die Fluid get. Yeah, they had a combo for Dark Floor. That's just insanely broken. Like, Dark Floor is such a strong weapon, even without the ability to combo. And just giving that the ability to do combos if you're at low health is just stupid. A twin chain swords are charge special. But okay, that's just stupid, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, I get why people want Dark Floor to combo because, you know, having a one-hit combo on a sword does limit it a bit, but there is a reason that Dark Floor can't combo. I can't remember what the special weapon is. Oh yeah, Snake Spire. I'm just going to team point that because I've already got on with it. Not a bad weapon, Snake Spire. It looks pretty cool, but yeah, I've already got on with it, so I don't need it. Dark Floor unlocked is broken, although very few players can use Dark Floor really well. I think it probably is one of the hardest weapons to use effectively, honestly, because your health has to be so low to be able to use the special properly. I think it's about 12.5% you have to be at, isn't it, to get the energy waves to actually activate. So it is a very, very difficult weapon to actually use well. I'd probably be terrible with it because I honestly, I don't really like playing with my health that low anyway. It's one reason why I don't use Berserk a great deal. Like, I tend to be very conservative with using Berserk. And now, have a great evening. Thanks for the trip down memory lane. Maybe I'll see you in game sometime. Yeah, anytime, Lumi. Anytime I'm streaming or anytime I'm online. Password for the games is always stream, so feel free to drop in if you want to. Thanks for dropping by again as well. Yeah, then you get flame for healing when you're playing a Force. It's difficult, isn't it? Because if you've got one person with a Dark Floor and you're in a full player party, everyone else wants healing, but the Dark Floor player doesn't want healing. So it just makes it impossible to do your job as a Force. I mean, obviously, solo play, it's absolutely fine because you can manage your health yourself, but yeah, it does make it very difficult to use in a party. You have some mats if you want some. I think I've got a reasonable amount of money. I'm just kind of using them as I find them, honestly. I think I'm not far off maxing her anywhere. Yeah, it is really difficult, Zale, but just because you've got like competing demands, because you've got the Dark Floor player wanting you to keep them on low health and not heal them, but you're also wanting to keep everyone else alive. Never owned an S rank. Best he got was Shield Genbu. Yeah, so I think the S ranks were only ever available online. So if you were playing offline, you couldn't get them. You're in chat for this one, Draken. No, fair enough. Yeah, so which idea do you want to go with for the next run? Is there anything that anyone's actually going for? I'm basically just after Condryu, so... I was just trying to find the time to do it. I think it is. I know Minsk was talking about Bat and Kaitos earlier, so... When you're in these lobbies on Ephinea, there are certain music tracks you can play, and it's tracks from quite a lot of different games. You need a V101. Green Cell has V101 on Zoo and Cannon Rouge Sensibility. Yeah, so we could just go with Green Hill again then, because that seems to get a lot of drops for people want. So I'm mainly after the Centurion ability. But yeah, Bat and Kaitos came up earlier on, so that's probably why they're playing it. Boomer song anyone? No, please. So just the same one should be fine, Minsk. So I think it's maximum attack E in episode 4. I'm totally fine running that again because it seems really good on Green Hill. Yeah, there is quite a lot of game music that you can play. It's only for the lobbies though. So I know there is some music from games like Nier Automata as well. There is also the Boomer song that Bass Player mentioned, which I never really want to hear again. Please don't tell me you've got a Boomer's music disc. You can hop on PSU thanks to the stream. No worries, yeah. I said I will be doing some PSU content as well. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. The Boomer song is great. No worries, no. Have a good night and have fun on PSU. Yeah, it's not too bad doing this as a force. I basically just need to make sure I'm just doing Gel and Zala and just doing Gifoy to stop the zoos, and that's basically my job. Occasionally spam Megid on the lizards if I get a chance, but it's a really decent experience as well. Okay, we go again. I'd like to point out that I still don't have any event eggs. 1 in 500 drop, by the way, but yeah, apparently not for me. The only downside with using Gifoy is occasionally you catch Rappies when they're spawning and it can make them run away. There is a risk I might make a Del Rappy run away, but to be honest, I'm not too bothered about that because most of Del Rappy's drops aren't very good anyway. Do the RBR Ep 4 quest, should drop more eggs for 3 or 4 players. Yeah, it might be an idea to maybe do that next. This is obviously great for the chance of getting Condryu. Particularly this week while we've got the rare enemy boost. Yeah, the boost rod this week's a really weird one. Unfortunately, it's got Mop Up 1 in it, which is like one of the worst quests in the game. I don't mean worst as in hard, I mean just worst as in not worth running. Yeah, it's okay for Giga Boomers, but there are better options. Probably best on Viridia because it has limiter and there's 4 Gerta Blulus. Yeah, it's rare drop week next week, isn't it? So, yeah. Hopefully we can get some decent drops then. I mean, to be honest, even when it's regular rare drop week, the chance of getting Conjure is still pretty reasonable anywhere. I love that sometimes the Dorphons desync and multiplayer and just charge directly sideways. It just looks really stupid when they do it. RT will be spam 2 and rare drops increase. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, definitely not against getting a parasitic gene flow either. How does a Dorphon squeak on sand? It finds a way. Oh. We got a photon drop. I'll take it. Yeah, let's get PGF and Red Ring. How hard can it be? The thing is, I could see us reasonably getting PGF because I know PGF is a slightly easier drop rate than Red Ring, but realistically they're both still ridiculously hard. Oh, you got a Red Ring on Ultimate. Oh, nice one. Yeah, I still haven't seen a Red Ring drop yet. I don't think anyone has beaten the look that Scribe had recently. So Scribe's one of my moderators. He's not here today, but he had some insane luck on this in the last few weeks. Literally found a Psycho wand from a Sinnoh, which is like a 1 in 300k drop, and then a few days later found a Red Ring. I don't know how that happens. Get into the club if you find a final impact, a silence call, and a just see in one session. Now, we haven't actually had any of them yet, but that's probably because we're in episode 4. As soon as we play episode 1 again, normal service will be resumed. Although actually, I was playing earlier and I did some Endless Nightmare 4, and literally the first room dropped a silence claw. So even when I'm not streaming, I can't get away from them. It was a silence claw with hit, though. I've actually kept it because I think for a really low-level character, it might actually be not too bad. Because they do have hell. So, you know, it is a reasonable special on them, and with hit, it might actually land. So... poke them to death. It sounds like I say, it can be usable. Like if you do get one with hit, you know, if you hit things that have low dark resist, you might get away with the instant kill. Yeah, it's not the best way of doing it, but it at least has a use, I guess. Shame. I wish claws were better, really, because I really like the look of some of them, but they're just not that good. If you got a final limp back spray, trade some grinders for it. Yeah, I think I've got 2 final impacts. I think I've got 2 with hit, as far as I know. Yeah, if you're still around when the stream ends, yeah, by all means, I don't mind dropping one of those. I wouldn't want much for it because it is just a final impact. So, to be honest, I'm sure I've got 2 with hit anyway. So I'll have a look and I'll see what I've got. I suppose it is a reasonably useful weapon for a low level Raymal. Oh, finally got an event egg. There we go. Finally got one. On what, the 3rd run? Yeah, it took a while, but we got there. Oddly, all it took is for Draken to leave the game. Yeah, I love the custom box for the egg. Fucking Wall Smack, Turn Crush, Bullet, anything is an upgrade. Yeah, I mean, I'm leveling a Raymal myself, so kind of stuff I've moved on from I've probably still got. Did you get another event egg, Minsk? Drac was stealing the luck. See what happens, Draken, when you leave. As soon as you leave, everyone else starts getting res. See, so Min's just got an event egg and a photon drop in the same room, so there's something going on here. Yeah, whilst it's an interesting looking gun, I actually don't mind the look of it. I like how it's got a little laser sight on it. But there's definitely better looking guns. Use Justy and Inferno Bazooka. Justy is honestly actually a really decent weapon. Oh, that scroll message there, that is a really rare drop. So that Heart of Samba Maracas is basically a skin for certain mech guns that makes your mech guns look like Samba Maracas. And that's I think it's a 1 in 128 drop from the F4 boss. It is insanely rare. Hi, Dorfon. Justy is actually honestly a really decent rifle for early on. You know, because it has... I can't remember, I think it's devils it has, isn't it? Could be demons. I can't remember if it's devils or demons now. You know, using those kind of weapons though, just to cut enemy HP down, if it's something's got a lot of health, they can be really, really useful. But yeah, you're not going to use it at endgame typically, but it's honestly not a bad weapon. I just give it a lot of stick because as a Skyly player, you get them all the time. It's basically Dragon Slayers and Justies. You like the disappearing cliff in the background. I think it's devils. Ah, fair enough. That sounds about right. I do like it when I actually get to use Megad a little bit. Didn't bet when it actually works on stuff. It'll replace it with Bringer's Rifle, yeah. Yeah, because if you do the Claire's Deal side quest as well, I suppose you can add hit to the Bringer's Rifle as well on Blue Burst, which is really, really nice. That's probably not a good place to be. It's a running joke. Just here is the poor man's Bringer's Rifle. Yeah, I mean, the Bringer's Rifle is basically just a direct upgrade, I suppose. We'd expect it to be because it is obviously a lot harder to get, so... Does Raising Anguish help the event drop? So... I don't know if it affects the event eggs as such. No, obviously it raises the regular drop rate for other things. I don't know if it increases the event eggs, though. I have a feeling that the event eggs might be fixed. But I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I think it does say in the announcement on the Ephinea forums. But I can't remember myself. Yeah, I suppose essentially at the moment you are just want to be just spamming quests that have tons of enemy count in them, just try and get as many event egg drops as you can. I suppose if you want to run RBR quests as well, that boosts it further. So that is one way of boosting the event egg drops. If you run any of the Ragdoll Boost Road quests, they have inherent boost to the event egg drops as well. It's always worth Raising Anguish if you can survive. I suppose it depends on how fast you can kill the enemies. So if you're, if you're killing enemies in about the same speed, then potentially raise it a little bit. Especially if you're in a party and you can clear enemies no problem, then yeah, running Anguish is going to help. Yes, Minsk, I think it is for multiple players. I think you get bigger drop rate increases. I think it's 25% extra boost for 3 or 4 players. Egg boost only in RBR. Yeah, as far as I know. I've got level 5. I still need an anti-level 7 disc though. The game will just not drop one for me. I should probably just trade for one, honestly. Oh, you don't have it either? Yeah, it just seems to never drop. But yeah, I suppose in general, if you can raise the Anguish level and you can still get through the spawns okay and it's not slowing you down too much, it probably is worth running Anguish. I think later on it does get to a point where at the higher Anguish levels, it does just get to a point where it's more of a challenge than anything else. We did some Anguish 10 Forest a few days ago and it was nightmare fuel and just didn't really seem worth doing unless you're like dying in one hit to everything. Yeah, maybe Anguish 1. I certainly wouldn't go much higher than 1 or 2. Yeah, when you get up to like Anguish 10, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, when you get to Anguish 10, it's like, you know, mobs have 500% more attack power. They move so fast that you literally can't run away from the enemies because they outrun you. Yeah, we did a few rooms of Forest on Anguish 10. And it was, yeah, it was not pleasant. It was really funny because you were literally running in, trying to get a couple of hits on the enemies, and then running out the room before they could hit you. You gotta love it when Mega just does absolutely nothing. Yeah, it was just after we got the S-rank slicers, so we were basically all using S-rank slicers. We didn't have any specials on them because we hadn't added them yet. And trying to do Anguish 10 for us. It was an experience. Anguish 10 fake and yellow is good for 4 drops. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that being like maybe the one quest that's actually maybe doable on Anguish 10. You'd still have to be really careful though. Would be a great show for the stream. I mean, I'm happy to try it anytime to show people, but it is an experience to say the least. Yeah, when you've got Hugh Cass getting one shot by Bartles in Forest, you know it's serious. And I don't mean one shot from low health, I mean from full. You're shaking and sweating. So is this the 1 hour warning? Have we really been going 2 hours already? Wow. So that's a 1.5 hour warning. Okay, that's fine. Just need to make sure I'm all finished before then. Yeah, I could see Fake and Yellow being potentially a quest that you could do on a higher Anguish level. The weird thing I did notice with Anguish 10 is that some of the enemies seem to be a lot faster than others. So the battles, they seem to be insanely fast. But things like the wolves, they didn't really seem to be much quicker. They just hit really, really hard. They would still one-shot you, but they didn't seem to move much faster than normal. I'm not sure what the Rappies are like. I can't remember if they move fast or not. Yeah, we never even got into Forest 2, so we didn't even see the Hill Delts. They would be Nightmare Field. They would be actually terrifying. Doesn't always give PDs. It's just that on Anguish level 10, the drop rate is just so far increased that you're much more likely to get them. And also because Rappies have 100% drop anything rate as well. It is still a really decent quest, Faking Yellow, though. It's actually... I think when you first get into Ultimate, it's actually not a bad way of getting some levels when you're still quite low, because it's more manageable. Because it is just Rappies. It's also obviously a fantastic quest front in the rare Rappies as well. And unlike Del Rappy, Pal Rappy actually has some decent drops. Couldn't see Arc there because your corpse was underneath one of the mirrors, so I couldn't see you. Can you explain DAR? So, DAR stands for drop anything rate or drop all rate. Essentially, every enemy in the game has a chance to drop an item when it dies. Not a rare. So to give you an example, so the biggest sharks in caves, the Gal Sharks or Milkwigs in Ultimate, they have a what's called a drop anything rate of 15%. So that means that when you kill one of them, there is a 15% chance that that enemy will drop something. Whether that something is Mazetta or I think they drop units as their drop. So they have a 15% chance to drop either, you know, Mazetta, a unit, a tool item, etc., or the rare. If you boost the drop anything rate, you boost the chance of anything at all dropping. So it kind of works like an inherent rare drop boost because you're increasing the chances of anything dropping, including rares. So Rappies, for example, they have a 100% drop anything rate. So providing you hit a Rappy when it's trying to get up to run away, or if you hit it when it's trying to flee, it will always drop something. So unless it's like desync online, you'll never get a no drop from a Rappy, and that's because they have a 100% drop anything rate. Yeah, so Minster raised a good point there. So on the older versions of PSO, Alts had a red ring drop, but Alts also had a 0% drop anything rate. So because it had a 0% drop anything rate, it couldn't drop anything, including its rare, which is one of the reasons why red ring was unobtainable on some of the versions. And the same for Olga Flow actually as well with Parasitic Chain Flow. So hopefully I've explained that okay. Essentially, in the drop all rate weak boost, you want to probably be prioritizing enemies that have quite a low drop anything rate, just because it'll affect them the most. Whereas the rare drop weak is a direct boost to the actual rare drop, but won't increase the drop anything rate. Stream's been hella informative, thanks. Oh, no worries. Yeah, to be fair, I've played this game a disgusting amount, so I picked up some stuff on the way. God, the Rappy nearly one-shot me. 129, but feel a bit lost. Yeah, there is a lot. I've said this before, but there is a lot of things in PSO that the game just doesn't tell you or doesn't explain. So if there's anything you're ever confused on, just, yeah, either ask someone in chat or let me know, either on Twitter or in the chat, and I'm more than happy to help wherever I can. I realise it can be a very confusing game sometimes. I mean, if you think about it, the game does not even explain section IDs, which are quite important. SGS farming time. Yeah, so for SGS, so the enemy that drops that at Gigu, I believe Gigu, it either has, I think it's an 80 or 85% drop anything rate. So during DAR week, you can get it where it'll increase the rate enough where they'll pretty much always drop something. I would probably, though, for CLJ Sword, I would probably wait until the actual rare drop boost week, just because the rate is so bad you need any help you can get to improve it. I know that as someone who hunted CLJ Sword for about 4 years on GameCube and never got it. Why are these rappies so strong? I really hate the targeting on Grant sometimes. Trying to target Gerta Blulu and it's like, no, you're going to target the Rappy that's further away. There we go, got it. Yeah, don't worry about feeling a bit lost. Oh, a nice V101. Oh, congratulations on that, Zill. That's a really, really nice drop. So we've now had 2 V101 drops on stream. That's insane. No, GG on it. That's a really good drop. The Gerta Blulu wouldn't leave you alone. Had an internet meltdown in your house. Back now. Oh, sorry to hear that. What's your favourite fantasy star from the online ones? For me personally, I will always have a really, really soft spot for GameCube PSO, so episode 1 and 2. That is purely nostalgic reasons, just because it's where I started with. If you're just going to class PSO, then just PSO in general. It is very closely followed by PSP2 Infinity, if you want to count that, but for the PSO versions, it's probably GameCube for me. I do really like Blue Burst though as well. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of with Blue Burst is I think that some of the episode 4 gear was a little bit overpowered. Particularly things like Excalibur. And honestly, V101 is a bit busted as well. yeah, we've got another V101 drop, so... Pretty crazy, really, because it's not exactly a common drop. Yeah, Smart Link is pretty great. It does help my Huniwell to hit things a little bit better with range weapons, but to be honest, there's no saving her. Yeah, and although episode 3 is not my favourite PSO, I still do really like it. What about PSU and NGS? I like PSU. At the moment, obviously, there's only one server to really play it on, and I do personally feel like Clementine is a bit different from Official for me to like it as much, but I do like PSU. Certainly not as much as PSO, but I enjoy it enough. NGS is an interesting one for me, so if you don't know, I am actually an NGS official creator, so I do content, and my channel and thing is on Sega's website, so just a full disclosure. But I will say that at the moment, NGS is not in a brilliant place. I don't mind the actual combat. I think the combat in NGS is really good. There are some classes and things that need improving drastically, like Tekka. But I think overall the combat is reasonably good. But the story, I think, is shocking. And I just feel like there isn't enough to do in it at the moment, personally. I want the game to be better because, like I said, I am an NGS creator and I want people to find out about the game and enjoy it, but it's a tough sell at the minute, honestly. I suppose the advantage of NGS is that it is free to play, so if you want to check it out, you can just go and check it out and see if it's the kind of thing you're interested in. For me, though, personally, it feels radically different from the older games, so I personally don't enjoy it as much. Having said that, though, and again, I was talking to Draken about this a bit earlier, off stream, I was never the biggest fan of original PSO2 either. Whereas I know a lot of people really, really like that. So perhaps I'm in the minority. I don't know. I do feel that a lot of people don't like NGS but do like regular PSO2. For me, though, I could never really get into PSO2 that much either. I played PSO2 back when it was JP only, but when New Genesis dropped, you couldn't get back into it. Yeah, I mean, going back to PSO2 now, I mean, I have tried to play base PSO2. First of all, honestly, I think it looks very ugly now. I don't think it's aged very well at all. I think the combat is obviously a lot more in-depth than NGS. There is a lot more going on with it. But one issue I had with base PSO2 is I felt some stuff was just unnecessarily overcomplicated. As I say, though, some people absolutely love PSO2. And there's no denying it was a really, really popular game, particularly in Japan. It sold like, well, I mean, it was a free game, but the amount of money that Sega made from it was insane. I think a lot of people feel like NGS was a step in the wrong direction. I do kind of agree to an extent. I do feel there are some things that NGS does better. But ultimately, I mean, this just might be the old man in me talking, but I ultimately just feel that the older games are better. I have a lot more fun playing PSO and PSU than I do with either PSO2 or NGS, honestly. I will still continue to make content for NGS when I can. I will admit it has been quite difficult recently because there isn't a great deal to cover. Oh, you got a Justy. I like that. The excitement of getting a rare drop followed by the oh when you realise it's a Justy. We've all been that. Yeah, for me personally, I still maintain that for me, the best Fantasy Star outside of PSO was probably PSP2 Infinity. It's such a shame that they never released it outside of Japan. I know regular PSP2 was released and that was still really good, but Infinity was even better. Yeah, lizards have low dark resist apparently. PSO forever the GOAT. Yeah, no doubt for me. I definitely agree with that. PSZ's really good too. Yeah, I know Minsk's been playing a bit of PSZ lately. That's one of the very few Fantasy Stars that I never got around to playing, just because I didn't have a DS at the time. I will look into trying to play that at some point though, because I've only heard good things about it, honestly. Yeah, for me though, PSO is always going to be the game I keep coming back to. I am hopelessly addicted to it. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's the red boxes, I tell you. I'm going through so many fluids here. Another event egg for Zill. Playing it on and off since Dreamcast release and still playing it now. Yeah, so like I said, I started with GameCube, but it's been the same for me. Once I started playing PSO, I just never stopped. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it, that they got a fully multiplayer game to work pretty flawlessly on the DS. Yeah, I definitely need to try that at some point. There's another one as well. It's a much more recent game, but there was one they released on the PS Vita, Phantasy Star Nova. Again, I honestly can't remember if that released in the West or not, or if it was Japan only. That looked interesting. I don't know if it was any good or not, but that's another one I've never tried. Yeah, I can imagine it would require friend codes. That tends to be how Nintendo do it. Don't we give the OG DS enough credit for how good it was as a console? Yeah, I never had one. I skipped out on the DS. I came back in with the 3DS. Get as much easier when you got people spamming demons. Dude has way too much health. Okay, fingers crossed we can get Condrio again. That would be quite nice. Oh, I don't have access to the glide ability. That sucks. You still have 3DS, PSO will work on it. Okay, so it runs okay on 3DS. I can never remember which DS cartridges work on which versions. If that's the case, I'll have to have a look then and get hold of a copy. Oh, Sam Million again. Ooh. Where's our green boy? We need him back. Well, that was quick. What are you weak to? Not that. That, okay. Yeah, so Japan, they released what was called PSO 2 Cloud. It's a cloud version of PSO 2 for the Switch. I kind of dread to think how it would run, but don't even know if it's still online or anything. I have no idea. But yeah, it was an entirely cloud-based version. EDK 0. He's over this way. I guess Mega does not damage on this version. Tornadoes are really annoying as well because they have like a lingering hitbox on them. Can I use the glide's ability yet? No. So I have to use another tri-fluid. Ping to JP made it unplayable. Yeah, I can imagine. Because I suppose if you're getting all the data from the cloud, then the ping's going to become a real problem with it. Yeah, I can imagine it being a bit... Well, I can imagine it being not the optimal way to play PSO 2, let's say that. behind the safety rock. Still quite a lot of health left on his on some of his cars there, actually. Thing is, once he's down to like 1 or 2 left, you can just melt him with mech guns or anything. Yeah, that was definitely desync. I don't know how they got hit by that one there. When he shot the other way. That was a hell of a crit. I think 2 of them hit me at the same time and at least 1 of them crit. You kind of have to use mates a bit as a force in this, just because you don't get enough time to actually cast Resta sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I heard 3 photon blast go, but we got 2. Some, again, weird desync. This boss seems really susceptible to it for some reason. Again, I got hit at the end there by seemingly nothing. Oh yeah, so Miz found this glitch out where apparently if you keep healing or something in the cutscene, your hair wobbles. Actually, yeah, if I'm in my analog stick, my hat bobbled as well. Absolutely pointless bit of information, but 6,000 Mazetta. I mean, I'll pick the armors up just to cover the tri-fluid costs, but a diamate this time. Yeah, at least it's mag food. Something. At least we're farming a decent amount of MA tickets anyway. Quite useful those because you can get TP materials from them, I think. And at least things like luck materials as well. Which again, never seem to drop otherwise. I mean, TP materials literally don't drop. Yeah, 7 difluids and 7 trifluids. Not cheap running a Ephinea well. We'll check the shop actually and see if there's any charge Vulcans in. Probably won't be yet because I don't have high enough level. Is the next run out? Yeah, I mean, you know, we can switch around as needed. Yeah, so for running this quest, you get what are called MA4 tickets, and there's a quest you can exchange them in. I believe it's basically like a roulette system that it uses, and you can get various different rewards from it. Ah, oh, soon supper time. No worries. Yeah, let's have a look at that dim pillar. It's 5% hit. I'm not sure anyone would really want a 5% hit dim pillar, but alright. Find of the stream. So how many event eggs do I actually have? 2. Oof. I might have some more on my Honeywell stash actually, so I might have a couple more than that, but I don't think we get many, unfortunately. Yeah, the challenge mode percentages were stupid, yeah. I remember we got like, was it a 95% hit sniper or something? It's a shame we don't get those percentages in normal player. I think the highest I've seen is I've got a laser. I think it's a hell laser. It has about 70 or 75% dark, but it has no hit, unfortunately. So, should we run one of the RBR quests, maybe? Try and get as many eggs as we can. I got a 45% Thunder Scepter. Yeah, GG on the V101. Really, really nice find, that. Yeah, so we'll do an RBR quest now. So with the RBR quest, we can hopefully farm a few more event eggs. Oh, someone just got a Cincester from a Hilda Tort. Very nice. Part of me just thinks, should I hunt Lavis Cannon while the rare enemy wakes on? Because I have a red rear. You have a gift frozen shooter with 100% AB's machine and dark. Yeah, either someone really, really loved that frozen shooter or it's not 100% legitimate, but you never know. Yeah, it's up to you, Minsk. If no one else is joining in, by all means, jump in if you want. So I'm assuming this is our 1 hour warning. Ark's on the way. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, so we've got 1 hour. So we're on a timer for this mission, whether we like it or not. This should work out quite nicely because probably after this quest, we'll probably end stream after that. So it'll time quite nicely with the maintenance anyway. Also, while I think on, thanks for all the responses to the community poll that I did recently about whether you want to see games other than Phantasy Star on the channel. The results are basically impossible to call. It was pretty much split 50-50 down the middle. So I think the plan is potentially maybe once a month on stream we might do a little bit of a segment on another game. So maybe something like Monster Hunter. But at the moment it would only be like quite an irregular thing. So maybe once a month. Because it was a very, very divisive poll. A lot of people just want Phantasy Star, which is fine. But there was a decent amount of people that wanted other games as well. So I'll try and sort of appeal to both parties as best as I can. So me personally, I would love to play some other games as well. Phantasy Star will always be the focus, but I'd love to try and play a few other games now and again. But I also do appreciate that a lot of people have subscribed or watched my videos for Phantasy Star content, so I am fully aware of that. good news is I think there's so many things to cover for PSO in particular that I've got like plenty of videos lined up. So I think on the videos front, it will be probably just Fantasy Star for the time being at least. But for streams, like I say, now and again, we might mix it up a little bit. It's just so we're not playing the same thing every single stream as well. I think as well, maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks, we might play PSU on stream again as well. Again, just try and mix things up a little bit, because I appreciate the last few streams have just been PSO. So unfortunately, I get a little bit too addicted to this game. Akiko's Frying Pan, Old Special Mag, and Soul of Steel. Yeah, so there's things like that I can cover, so I planned on doing one for the Frying Pan. I also want to do some other very sort of simple videos as well, so just things like, you know, how to get the Orochi Agito in Sync My Master, things like that. You know, how to get the Striker of Chao. So some very basic items that you can pick up in the game as well. So I'll probably do some videos on that. I also want to do some lore videos about the story of PSO as well, because I've got quite a lot of information on that as well. I've got a few of the art books, and a lot of them have a ton of information about the lore of the game. I mean, honestly, Akiko's Frying Pan is a pretty terrible weapon, but it's a free rare, so why not? And I suppose I've already done a guide on how to get the Soul Eater as well, so it kind of fits in with those guides anyway. I was also thinking of potentially doing, it's not finalized yet, but I may consider doing something like a weapon spotlight or a gear spotlight. It'll cover certain gear and just like overall sort of impressions of it. Again, aimed sort of at people who have maybe never played the game before, so they know if something's worth hunting. Because there are some things in PSO that might seem like they're worth hunting, but are really not, and vice versa. I really hate these rooms in Desert. They're awful to work with. Yeah, there's a few Akiko's weapons. So there's Akiko's Frying Pan. There is, I believe there's Akiko's Wok. There is Wok of Akiko's Shop. There is Akiko's Cleaver. And all of them pretty much are useless. I think Wok of Akiko's Shop might be the one that's maybe got some use, because I think one of them has a charge special. But generally, most of them are pretty useless. Just kind of joke weapons, really. Any plans of doing a video on challenge mode? Yeah, so again, I can cover things like that as well. You know, we have just done it recently, so what I could probably do is I can do a guide sort of covering basically what challenge mode is, but also just looking at like some general strategies you can use as well. Because there's a lot of things that are very specific to challenge mode that don't really apply to regular gameplay. You know, just things like, for example, if you run it as a force, doing things like TP death, which, you know, typically in normal play you would never deliberately get killed, but in challenge mode it can actually be like a totally viable strat. It's not something you ever really want to do, but it's something that sometimes you have to. So yeah, I'm definitely all for doing a challenge mode video as well. What I probably should have done is took some footage of when we actually did challenge mode, because that would have really helped with the video. But I suppose it's an excuse to do some more challenge mode. I mean, there is battle mode as well. I don't know if battle mode really needs a video, because it is just a total joke, really. You know, PvP in PSO is a bit busted. Yeah, hindsight, exactly, yeah. I don't like that. 3 warps. That reminds me of challenge mode. All for the trick track, yeah. That's literally the benefit of challenge of battle mode. Just hearing trick track. I don't need a healing ring at the minute. Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah, I could use footage from the streams. I mean, obviously, I can just, like, mute the actual audio from the streams and use that, I suppose. I suppose we did do some runs on stream as well. I mean, I'm never going to have a guide for each individual stage. And honestly, I'm not the person to do that. You know, in reality, when we did challenge mode, the first few stages we did totally blind and we had no idea what we were doing, really. Later on, we basically were all looking at guides. So I don't think I can really claim to be a challenge mode expert by any means, because we literally just read guides for most of the stages. But I can certainly do a video on some sort of strategy for challenge mode, what you should and shouldn't be doing, things like that. See, now Draken's rejoined, all the eggs are going back to him again. Challenge mode is something you always want to do, but it's a learning curve, and not everyone wants to go through that. It does take a bit of getting used to. It's just, you have to just learn how to cooperate as a team a lot better. Just because, you know, in challenge mode, obviously, all of your drops are shared between you, so you don't want to be wasting drops where they're not needed. So last thing you want to be doing is, you know, if you're a 4 new world, you don't want to be using any power materials, because you could be using those for your hunters to help them. Yeah, so there are examples of things like the switches on walls. There are several instances in challenge mode where you'll have switches to press or buttons to press, and some of them are deliberate traps to try and bait you, which really sucks. It's one thing I really like that about challenge mode, how it does force you to, you know, cooperation. I know obviously here we are playing in a party, but reality is we're not really cooperating much here. Like, I am literally just buffing everyone, healing everyone, debuffing enemies, everyone else is killing stuff. There's not a whole lot of real cooperation needed because it's quite simple overall. But in challenge mode, you have to cooperate properly or you'll just fail. Or if you do succeed in it, you just won't have a very good time. Never done it, always down to set up a group and give it a go. Yeah, so maybe if you look at the last couple of VODs for the streams, we did some challenge mode on stream as well for episode 1. So if you want an idea of what it's like, you can always watch some of those as well. I really, really despise these rooms. It kind of messes your movement up a little bit because your character will want to walk whenever you go near an enemy. We finally got out. Used to play a lot of Destiny raids. I was wanting something like that in PSO. Challenge seems the closest thing. Yeah, probably. If you ever want to feel genuine fear fighting a boss, then challenge mode is what you want to go for. And for me as a 4 new world, I didn't find the bosses too bad in episode 1, apart from Durole. Durole was absolute nightmare with a 4 new world. It was literally, it was honestly terrifying. Anguish 10 would probably do that as well, yeah. To be fair though, you wouldn't even need to be a boss on Anguish 10. Literally anything on Anguish 10 would terrify. But yeah, Durole with a 4 new world in challenge mode is really, really scary. Yeah, Ruins was really, really strange. So I didn't find Ruins 1 too bad personally. It was long and it was hard to manage my fluids during it. But honestly, I didn't find Ruins 1 that bad. Ruins 2 was a bit scary because of the Bringers and Del Sabers. Ruins 3 was nightmare. That was genuinely really, really difficult and very hard to manage my fluids on. But then you got to Falta, and Falta wasn't bad at all. I think the main issue with Falta is you just need to make sure that you have enough health for the Divine Punishment and make sure you can survive Rabata. And if you can survive those, it's kind of fine, really. Do you think NGS would benefit from a challenge mode? I wouldn't be against it. I mean, I know they did have a challenge mode in base game PSO 2 as well, which I tried a little bit. Seemed pretty fun, honestly. And I wouldn't be against them trying that again. But yeah, base player, during Ruins 3 in particular, I was on the edge of my seat, more or less, because I was really, really worried about running out of fluids. When we, off stream, when we went back to speed up some of the stages as well, there was a couple of stages where I was literally on no TP at the end. So I remember when we redid, I think it was when we redid, was it Cave 3 with Derol? For about half of Cave 3 and the Derol fight, I basically had no TP. So I had to TP death on Derol just to get my TP back briefly. And then once my TP ran out, it was basically, right, just run around and do not much of anything, really. Because the alternative is trying to melee with a Fornuel. How long did it take, roughly? So, initially, when we first completed Faults in episode 1, I think we were on about... It was just under 8 hours initially. Thanks, Zoo. But once we'd done it once, so I think we were about 7 hours 49 initially. After that, then, we redid it to speed some of the stages up, because to get an S-rank weapon, you need to complete it in less than 7 hours. So, once we got enough time saved, I think we were on about 6 hours 56. Episode 2 challenge mode is a bit shorter, but is also a lot harder. Yeah, so for caves, I think we only did summer caves on stream. When we redid it, we did that off stream. We just wanted to make sure that we at least did the ruins and faults on stream. How long have we got? 44 minutes. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, it is quite a long process, though. I mean, you don't have to do it all in one go, so it is a staggered thing. So it is split into... So for episode 1, it's split into 9 stages. So the way it's laid out, basically, is... Stage 1 is Forest 1, Forest 2, and the Dragon. Stage 2 is Cave 1. Stage 3 is Cave 2. Stage 4 is Cave 3 and Durrell there. Stage 5 is Mine 1. Stage 6 is Mine 2 and Volopt. Stage 7 is Ruin 1, Stage 8 is Ruin 2, and Stage 9 is Ruins 3 and Dark Faults. So you don't have to do the whole 7 hours in one go. So basically the way it works is, so say if you do the Forest one, once you've completed Forest, once you go back to the lobby, it saves that you've completed that stage. You also don't need to get S rank straight away as well, so once you've completed it, you then can go back in and speed up your times to get better ranks. So when you first go through it, just focus on completing it. Yeah, so if you are over 7 hours, all that will happen is you'll get a lower rank than S rank. So when we first did it, we got A rank, which it still gives a reward, just not an S rank weapon. So then once we got A rank, then we just looked at our times, looked at the stages that we knew were pretty slow, because there was a few where we wasted a lot of time. And then we just redid those stages to get our time below 7 hours. Yeah, so don't worry about having to do the whole 7 hours in one go. It's not that brutal. Downside is though is that some of the stages are still very, very long, so some of them will take around an hour. We did have it once where it was one. I think it was on a cave stage where Draken disconnected right near the end, so we had to redo it. So just be aware of that it can take a while to get through some of them. It's worth doing though, just for the experience, and also just, you know, being able to get an S rank. It's just a really cool thing. You know, the fact that you can name the weapon and add your own special to it's really cool. I've always liked that. Yeah, the luck seems to have passed on to Zale now. Yeah, lizards have really low dark resist, apparently. I don't know how many megads that was, but it should not have taken that many. Zoo just clipping through the wall, as you do. Another get to Blulu. Lovely. Yeah, the S rank I went for is I went for the S rank slicer, and I've added a hell special to it, so I've got an instant kill slicer. Because the benefit of S rank weapons is that their specials are unreduced. Yeah, no worries, Smavi, yeah. To be honest, I'll probably just give you one of them because I know I've got a couple anywhere. We'll have to see how the time is. I mean, we should be finished with this before the servers go down, I would hope. No worries, best player. Sorry about that, Smarby. It took me a few try grinders. Only if you want to. Like I say, don't feel you have to. I've said it a few times on stream, but I really don't like these rooms because they make me feel a bit motion sick. No worries, best player. No. Yeah, I know it was accidental, so don't worry. Doing a very hard TTF at the minute. Cool. Yeah, as soon as I finish this, I can quickly meet up with you and give that final impact. Seems like a really long quest. And it feels like a challenge mode, say this, with the amount of warps that we got. You literally hive one of the best contributors to chat. Yeah, as long as you've unhidden them, that's fine, which I can see you have done, so that's fine. At least none of the mod tools work. Yeah, so we are in a bit of a race against time now. Yeah, Smabby, so I think base player accidentally hid you in the chat. I think they had some problems with the phone, so they accidentally hid you. But we all get Varistas for the rest of the Easter event. Oof. See what you've done now? Funny thing is, actually, I don't think I have a Varista. I don't actually have one drop. You're already feeling that. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of this quest. Far too many warps for my liking. Why are there so many warps? Game's like, right, I see that you need to finish this in time. How about we throw some more warps in? Yeah, this is really irritating. Like, whoever designed this quest, like, why would you think this is fun? Yeah, we're going to put a load of troll warps in the quest that all take you back to the start. Thanks, game. Yeah, going back to what we were talking about earlier, so there is still quite a few ideas I've got for PSO videos. You're on false now, so you wait in lobby when you while you finish. Yeah, no worries. We're completely lost, so... There does not need to be this many warps. Thanks for the sub. You sat out the right quest. Yeah, you made the correct decision. There does not need to be this many warps. All the rooms look the same as well. Yeah, I have to say that desert is not one of my favorite areas in the game. Problem you had is you had the stream running on your Xbox, YouTube, and on your phone. Form you can watch in the latter so you can monitor chat, and the issue was after that you must have slid the touch. So I'm assuming we just have to pick the right warp just by random luck. But yeah, don't worry about it, base player. And sorry to Smabby for the timeout as well. Okay, so we found one new room. So there is a switch over there, so I'm guessing obviously we need to get that warp for the switch. Which I'm assuming is this one. Okay, so that did something. Who knows what? Hopefully that took a laser fence down on the other area. It's all good, no worries. Ah, cheers. Just so I can join your suffering, I'm loading up Anguish Tent. Oh, is that a Pazuzu? Yep, we've got the rare zoo. I didn't drop anything for me, unfortunately. Anyone get anything from the zoo? Obviously can't remember what zoos drop on Viridia. Or Pazuzus even. What's the drop tracking? Oh, LK38, oh, okay. Did no one get the drop then from that? So at least we had a rare enemy show up. Not that it dropped anything. It's the thought that counts, though. Oh, you got the drop. Oh, cool. Yeah, Zill's definitely got the look at the minute. So what'll probably happen is I'll get the look and then the stream will go down. Oh, thanks for the gifted membership, best player. And JPrek, enjoy the emotes. Again, that threw me off because again I heard a red up noise. Making amends. You didn't have to. But thanks anyway, though. I don't know why the screen goes black there for that. So HP material, very nice. Yeah, GG on the LK38 as well. That's not bad going, that, an LK38 and a V101 in one stream. Can someone else stream so that I can join their streams and get the rares? Yeah, for anyone who's got a membership this stream, there are a few emotes you can use that we added, I think it was last week or the week before. You will also, if you're a member as well, you will also get a custom role on Discord as well. So what I'll do is, when the stream ends, I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat for anyone who's interested. Okay, 38's a really interesting weapon, yeah. So it's technically a shot, but it looks like a huge Gatling gun, and hunters can use it. And it shoots, I think it shoots 4 bullets in one go, but it can't combo. It is a really cool weapon, though. Just for the fact that it's, you know, a Gatling gun that hunters can use. So, are you in the lobby at the minute, Smavi? What I'll do is I'll just check to see if I've got a final impact. Sure I do. Yeah, so you can either have... I've either got a 15 hit one with 55 machine, or I've got a 35 hit one with 20 native and 15 dark as well. So take your pick which ones of those you want. And there's another final backed on the floor there. That one doesn't have any hit though. Oh, I get an item from this. I'm interested. Dirty Life Jacket. So Dirty Life Jacket, I know that it's an armor that allows Megid to pierce. So for my Fornuel, it's absolutely useless because my Megid pierces anywhere. But yeah, it's essentially a much worse version of Curse Cloak. But it's free. I mean, you see how much my defense drops and my evade drops with that. It's terrible. 35 hit. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so we'll do it. So we're just in Limerace Block 2, Smarby. So just whenever you're ready, just pop by and I'll give you that final impact. For everyone else here, I think we'll end the stream there for today because the servers are going down fairly soon anyway. So as usual, there will be another video going up midweek, which probably be for NGS, maybe for another game. I haven't decided yet. There'll be another PSO video at the weekend as well. Thanks again for all the gifted memberships today as well. Really, really appreciate that. Really kind of you. Oh, hi, Smarby. So what we'll do is we'll end the stream there for today. Smarby, what I'll do is I'll set a game up. I'll just make it a normal game and I'll just put the password as stream. So just feel free to join that. There'll be another stream next Sunday, which will probably play some PSO, but we might do maybe a little bit of PSU as well since we haven't done it for a while. If you enjoyed the stream or anything, please consider liking, subscribing, or joining as a member, like some people have earlier. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well, which is at SectionSkyly, and I usually post on there when I'm going live as well. So feel free to follow me on there. But for the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. And Draken says bye as well. See you guys.